Pat, Buffalo Bills. Brandon Beane got himself in a little bit of hot water with the league by suggesting that he would use a vaccine, whether or not a player had taken the vaccine for COVID, as what may be possibly a tiebreaker in terms of who you keep and who you don't. Probably shouldn't have said it. Is it okay for him to think it?
I mean, I was surprised by it for the simple reason that the NFL does not go after controversy in any way. And in today's social climate, you don't get a more controversial statement than that. I mean, look, I understand the logic behind it. The NFL has rules that if everyone in your team is vaccinated, everyone in your program, then you can all get together and meet in person. But then, on the other hand, after Beane makes those comments, the NFL comes in and shuts him down and tells him, don't say that. So, I mean, look, if you're going to make the rule that is encouraging the teams to get vaccinated, and you're going to tell these teams, well, this is what we're looking for. And then the guy comes out and says, well, because of the rules, this is what I'd be willing to do as a tiebreaker. The NFL doesn't have the right to come in. Well, they do. They shouldn't come in and be like, how dare you say that? That being said, I mean, I wouldn't have said it. But can he think it? Of course. It's an advantage to the team. If he's not thinking it, I'm a little bit worried.
I mean, is it any different really than a player being chronically injured? I mean, if you're looking at a guy, it says, he's got a history of knee problems. This guy didn't get a vaccine. Who's more dependable? Look at one guy's going to get sick. The other guy's going to get hurt. Can't you make that judgment?
I mean, if you have a history, I mean, again, I think I get where you're going with that argument, but the folks that aren't going to get the vaccine would make the argument, well, no, that's not the case because I wasn't sick and I don't see anything. It's my body to make that decision. I don't know. I mean, look, the whole thing is complicated, which again, in a soundbite is why you don't say what he said without being able to explain yourself fully. Hey, I'm glad I'm not Brandon Beane today. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many facets to this. The HIPAA laws that apply to this and to all health issues. Brandon Beane said something that I think makes sense. And Bill, to your point, logically, it makes sense. But I think the league is more worried about, well, go figure. The league is more worried about their public image than anything else. And they looked at what he said as a possible strike against the Shield. And God forbid you say something that could be taken a different way against the Shield. So the league is going to react the way they're going to because they're going to protect the Shield at all costs. And here's the other part. Josh Allen's not going to get cut because he didn't take the vaccine. Now, if you're the 54th man on the roster or the 53rd man on the roster, maybe. But it's not like he's looking to cut good players who are unvaccinated. It's just a tiebreaker, as you mentioned, for probably the last guy on the roster.
But to that point, it's bizarre that he would even make that statement. I mean, look, if you follow what's going on Bill's Twitter the last month, it's become pretty obvious that some of their prominent players aren't going to get the shot, right? So if it's not even a factor that's going to factor in where it's one person that's on the bubble that's going to get cut, I still don't know why you say it out loud. But then again, we also get angry when these general managers and coaches and players aren't honest with us. He is out completely honest, says what's on his mind, and he's getting lit up for it. So who knows?
Yeah, and the bottom line, I hope that this doesn't change the way Brandon Beane does business and still gives us things like this to talk about. It's kind of refreshing, actually.